My name is Danny Gallagher of Process for Growth Consulting, and today we will discuss building a functional team. A functional team is a choice made between two or more FAs who decide to team and split the team functions among themselves. I reiterate from the teaming presentation that most teams are formed for coverage, with very few teams assigning team roles or functions. This is an example on one way to form a functional team. If you have any interest, I will give you a study of a $1.6 billion asset team, $10 million production team. We tracked for 6 months every task performed by what team member and who is the backup. It became readily apparent that roles were far too granular to make any sense, so we started to think in terms of functions. What I mean by that is how a new client is passed through the team's 7 touch points so the team can define and refine handoffs for the team's process. The senior advisor, a woman with off-the-charts client-facing skill sets, but little or no working knowledge of the retail financial industry, realized success dictated that she form a team. The senior advisor is someone I call a unicorn. A unicorn is an FA who has raised over $2 billion in assets and $1 million in revenue in their first 2 years. I work with 5 unicorns, and for some reason, I do not know all 5 are women. My very uninformed opinion is that women are more holistic and less salesmen than men, but it's just my opinion. The senior FA sent me the above Excel spreadsheet, which she expected each FA and CSA to do. When I received, I color coordinated and sent back to the FA. A team must solve for the handoffs and how a client is moved from first contact all the way through to client reviews. So I took the spreadsheet from my client and I assigned each of them to our 7 touch points. So at first glance, it definitely shows some gaps, but more importantly, we now know why the senior FA is the senior FA. The hardest thing to do in business is to get net new assets, and the senior FA is definitely the rainmaker. But also notice that all the wealth management strategy is developed by the senior FA. Think about that. The hardest thing in the biz to get net new assets and the most valuable skill set is our ability to deliver advanced wealth strategies. There is a reason that she is the senior FA. But when we start to think of what is actually done with each new client, then the ongoing client relationship is easier to fill in the blanks. Basically, you take every single thing that we accomplish for the client and put it there and put who does it for the team. Where I believe that roles do not work for us, we can start identifying a main role that is backed up by one or more expertise for the team. This tells the team how much a team member is expected to function. Once we define each client touchpoint, we can start thinking through a different way to assign FA splits according to what specific task each team member performs for the team. The thought is that each touch point has an intrinsic value that can and should be decided by each team member and by the members of the team. What we will look at is one of my clients' valuation of each touch point. Now, I want to point out here that in putting in the splits for different people, once the team decides on the intrinsic value of each client touchpoint, it can be applied for relationships that are complex and we have multiple people touching the client. Let us work through an example. 2 FAs decide to team. They are equal in most financial measurements and client skill sets. Neither of the FAs has any particular expertise designation. Like typical teams, when they decide on a 50-50 split for all new business, they keep their existing books separate. This is very typical. I have no comment whether this is the best way forward, but this is what people do. But 3 weeks after all the papers are signed and joint numbers are issued, one of the FAs has a longtime client with over 30 million with the FA, refers another friend with 30 million to the FA. What now? Can the team survive this moment? From experience, many do not. First, this is a referral. So let's do it by the split formula. This is a referral. So 15% goes to FA1 because it's their client. FA1 also executes discovery, wealth, and investment strategy, splits implementation with his new partner because of tax harvesting, runs the ongoing review, and splits operation as both FA's revenues earn them a firm-sponsored CSA. In the end, a 90-10 split. So what does this look like as it plays out over the years? If the team survives this referral and remains together, this is the two possible outcomes depending on the agreed upon FA splits. On the left, the 50-50 split shows the split partner would receive $516,000 with a net new asset policy and $615,000 with a no net new asset policy. On the right side, using the split formula and allocating percentages of the split formula, the partner would receive $123,000 over 5 years. Partnerships are difficult under the best circumstances. As an FA told me a long time ago, partnership is like a marriage with money problems and none of the good part. Teaming can be a boost to your business, but in many cases, it's a time-consuming exercise does not accomplish what most of us want, net new assets. Next looks at a situation for a junior FA on a team of 2 senior FAs and brings them a $10 million relationship. Instead of a fixed percentage to the junior FA of 10, 20, or 30%, which is what I see the vast majority of the time, the junior FA is compensated on what they actually work with on the client. So in this case, it ends up one of the senior FAs getting 45, another one's getting 22.5, and the junior FA gets 37.5% because of the work that they do. Teaming is never easy. Teaming is hard work. And to make it worth the time and the effort, you have to develop a method to be able to communicate effectively over very emotional issues. Money is a big issue, so clarity is very important. Thank you for your time.